as a beginner, just getting into the world of digital products, doing something like making $100 a day probably feels completely impossible, right? That's $3,000 a month. How in the world can I get $100 a day with digital products as a complete beginner? But as someone that runs a multi-million dollar business selling digital products and has been doing it for a very long time, I have this saying, or this thing that I learned, which is what feels impossible now will become obvious later. So last month, I did $600,000 cash collected selling digital products, courses, PDFs, bundles. I put income proofs everywhere in case you are a skeptic. You can go to my website, mariawent.com/income proof and check there because it's a big income claim. And I get it. I share my tax reports. I share what I spend on expenses. I put it all out there because I do get that making that much money selling digital products can seem insane, especially if you are just getting started. And when I was getting started, I thought it was like, I wouldn't have even believed that I could do $100 a day. But now over time, with me doing $600,000, that's an average of $20,000 per day. So to me, $100 a day, I do that in like an hour. I do that in like $3,000 in an hour, right? Or maybe slightly less, but I probably do like $1,000 an hour if I were to average it out that way. So to me, obviously, $100 a day feels really, really easy. And so what felt impossible to me in 2013 and 2014 now is insanely obvious and very easy now. And so just my mentor told me this a long, long time ago. He's like, if you don't believe you can make that amount of money, that's okay. I'll believe it for you. Just let me believe it for you. I'm going to get into like the actual practical game plan of what I would do if I started over completely from scratch. I wasn't making $600,000 months. I was making $0 per month. And I wanted to build up to my first $100 a day. This is the game plan that I would do. So I just want to show it to you and kind of go over step by step what I would do. So, okay, what I want to start with is just some simple math. Okay, so we're just going to start with some really simple math because the first thing that I notice happens is when I do the simple math, stuff starts feeling much more doable because we're taking, the saying, right? Like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so that's what we're going to do first is just starting with the simple math, okay? So the first thing you need to know is that if you're selling a $27 product, it's basically 4 sales a day. Pro tip, if you are doing upsells, which I really think you should do. So an upsell, I have a ton of videos on upsells because it's very important for digital product businesses to do upsells. But basically, just so you kind of know what we're talking about here, an upsell is like if you go to McDonald's and you order a cheeseburger and they say, would you like fries and a drink with that? That's the upsell. That's how you get more money per customer. That's how you make a digital product business go from a little bit of money to tons and tons and tons of money. That's where the profit is. So if you're doing it right and you're doing upsells, it's 1 to 2 sales a day. And that's how I would do it. So I would do a product flow where it was maybe like $27 and then the first upgrade was like $17 and then the next upgrade was honestly I would probably do like $30. So we'll just say 37. I'd probably do 37, which brings us to basically, let's just say 30, 20, 50, 40. So we basically would need like maybe one more. And you could do it 1 of 2 ways. I probably would do 97 because a lot of people will do that. But if you want to play it safe, you can also do 17. So basically, that's how the flow would look. So if a customer is going through and they're choosing to buy all of the products, first they would buy the $27 thing, then they would buy the $17 thing, then the 37, and then the 97. And I'm going to quickly pause it. I want to show you what this looks like on a receipt. So I want to share a screenshot with you. I'll just pull one of my recent orders and I just want to show you what that looks like for an actual customer to go through and buy all of it so you can have an example. So I'm just going to go to my orders really quick, blur out the customer information and then share it with you. Okay, so today is June 10th. You can kind of see here what this looks like. So this is a full stack. So this came in a little bit earlier today. They bought my first course, then they bought the second one, then they bought the third one, then they bought the fourth one, then they bought the fifth one. You can see the different price points and kind of how we structure it. So when I pull it up on an iPad, it's just not hypothetical. This is how you make your profit And we're kind of getting on a side note. I am going to get back to the $100 a day game plan, but I do want you to understand how important upsells are, because I could have made $97 just selling one digital product, which is what most coaches will teach you how to do. Most coaches will never, or even people here on YouTube, like they will not talk about upsells because it's kind of like the, I don't want to say insider secrets, or they just don't know themselves, but it's just not talked about the way that it needs to be, because all of this is extra money in your bank account. You've already done the work to get a $97 sale, or in the example that I gave you, a $27 sale. You've already done that work to get that customer. That's the hard part. So why not get all of this profit? So I'm really big on upsells because it literally like almost 6x'd the total order value. So it was almost $100 for the order total, and then it got brought up to almost $600. And so you take a little order and you turn it into a pretty significant order. And this is just one example. We do this all day long, every day, with all of our different offers. And that's how you get to, going from, oh, I have to do 4. So if we go back to like our little game plan here, let me close this one and turn on the iPad. Back to our little example, you could do 4 $27 products, like, right? So 4 $27 product sales, that gets you to your $100 a day. Or you could figure out how to do upsells and just have to get 1 sale a day. So both are fine. Some people don't want to do upsells. Some people prefer to keep it simple. Like, there's really no wrong answer. It's just, to me, I don't know why you wouldn't do something that's going to make you a lot more money. So we'll just go ahead for the sake of example, assuming that you're going to do upsells. Again, this is a like, what would I do if I had to start over from 0 and wanted to get to $100 a day? You would never catch me launching a product that doesn't have a bunch of upsells, because if I'm going to do the work to get the sale, I might as well do a tiny bit more to get a ton of profit. So doing simple math on this, let's continue our simple math and talk about conversion rates. So we'll just do simple math 2.0. We need to talk about conversion rates because this is really important for you to know. So my conversion rate, Maria's conversion rate, is 6%. So doing the math on that, I would need 67 checkout page views. Checkout page views. So basically, in order to get that 1 sale that I just showed you, 67 people would have to look at my checkout page. Now, if you don't know anything and you're really just getting started, that might seem like a lot, but what might surprise you to know is that that's anywhere from 6 times better than average to 3 times better than average. So the average checkout page conversion is 1%. So you would need to get like 100 people to view your checkout page. If you build checkout pages the way I teach you on this YouTube channel, which I highly recommend you do, you need far less. You need like 67 people to view your checkout page, which might seem like a lot, but actually I'm going to break it down even further for you. And then you'll see how it's actually pretty doable. Taking a step back though, before I get into this, I want to talk about like when we sit down and we make a game plan to hit $100 a day and it starts off feeling so impossible, it's because you don't have anyone in your life giving you these little steps. I always said, like, I'll do whatever it takes. Just tell me what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. And this was at the beginning. Like, just so you know, my first year of trying this, I only made $63 my entire first year. I had no idea what I was doing. And this was a long time ago. This was like back in 2013. And so there was nothing like resources out there where you could just go on a YouTube channel and watch someone way further along share what they were doing that was working. I had to really figure it out all by myself. And I just remember saying over and over and over again, just tell me what to do. I'll do it. And so that's me turning around and giving the advice that I wish I had had more than 10 years ago. So just keeping that in mind as we do the math, there is so much value in just understanding what needs to happen and breaking down what might feel like for you a really big goal to make $100 a day and breaking it down into really small bite-sized pieces. So having said that, let's break this down even further. So every single day, so now you know, okay, my marching orders, most important thing so far is I need 67 checkout page views. So if we pull up, let's just for extreme clarity, if we pull up this again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so you can see like the checkout page, so you know what we're talking about here. Like that's that first product. So inbox to income, it's an email marketing course where I teach people how I sell. I make millions of dollars from my email list, and I'm really like, I get 30,000 new email addresses every single day. No, 30,000 email addresses every single month. I get 1,000 email addresses every single day. That'd be crazy. Let me speak that into reality. Maybe give me another few years and then I'll be doing 30,000 a day. That would be nuts. But that's what that course is all about. And I want to show you the checkout page so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. And so you say, okay, I need 67 people to view a page like this because I really want to connect every dot for you here. So let me pause really quick, and I'm just going to share my screen and show you what I'm talking about so you know, so we can connect the dot between the receipt that they, of all the things they bought versus like what they looked at and what we're talking about when we say 67 people need to view a page like this. Because then we're going to get into like, okay, how are we going to get 67 people to view a page like this? So let me share my screen here. I'm going to pause. Okay, so let me show you the checkout page here. Okay, so when we say 67 people need to view a checkout page, this is what we're talking about. So it's, and we're actually currently in the middle of a launch to this one. So right now it's $97. Tomorrow it's going to be $147. Typically our courses are around $197 for the more core courses, but we just launched this product literally this morning. So that's what's happening here. But when we say, someone needs to view a checkout page, 67 people need to view this checkout page per sale. So if 67 people look at this, and again, 100 is average, 67 is like better than average. But if 100 people or 67 people view this, one person will decide to buy it. And so I just want to be super clear on that, because what I'm going to do now is talk about, okay, how are we getting people to view our checkout page? But I wanted to make sure I connected that dot for you guys. So when I say checkout page, I mean something like this. You can see here, they would enter in their credit card or their information. It's pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to my iPad, and we're going to talk about the actual marketing side of things. I launched, just so you know, if you want to dive deeper, I actually just launched. Hold on. Let me show you something pretty amazing. Give me 1 second. I wrote something quite incredible. It's totally free. I'll send you a free copy if you want. But I wrote let me scoot in here. I wrote an 88-page guide to marketing and selling digital products. So I'm going to go over part of this entire book in today's video. But if you want a free copy of this, I'll send you a free copy. It's basically everything I've done to make $11 million selling digital products. It's very, very helpful. You can see here I have all kinds of just like a lot of stuff on upsells in here. Scoot over. A lot of sales, upsells, a lot of stuff on just like stuff you need to know. It's very cool. It's honestly really, really cool. I share proof of income, which is really important, I think, for some people, like tax returns. I share, remember how I talked about how like don't discount ads? You can get, I'm going to talk about ads. Briefly, you can run $5 a day ads and get sales in 24 hours. So I'm going to briefly talk about that in this video, but I like show you how to run those ads in this book. So it's incredible. I'll send you a free copy. If you want to learn how to market digital products, I'm just going to put the link as the very top of the description. And you can just like click that link and get a copy. It's incredible. So we are going to go into like the overview of marketing. I still want to teach you guys like a couple of things that I think are really important, but just know that if you want to dive deeper, get your hands on that I go into. It's 88 pages front to back. Like it's a beefy freebie. And I want you to have a copy, like my gift to you. Please. This is like all the things I wish I knew. Okay. So let's talk about getting those 67 checkout page views. Now that we know what we're talking about here and what this looks like and how we need to hit that goal, there's basically 2 ways you can do this. And again, I'm giving you the brief overview now from that book. Dive deeper in there if you want to. There's 2 ways you can do this. I do both, okay? So 50%, so if I do $600,000 in a month, $300K for me come from ads, and then it's really 50-50. 300K comes from organic or like free. So just to be really, really clear, when I say organic, it's like posts I make on Instagram that post it, or with the email marketing stuff that I do, all of that is 50% of it. And then the other percentage of it is ads. There's pros and cons to both. Don't discount ads. people get so scared about ads. They're like, oh, like I don't have the budget, or like they think when I say run ads, they think I'm saying like make a commercial like you see on TV, but not running ads because you think you need to like make a commercial is like not filming videos because you can't make a Hollywood movie. Like you can pick up your iPhone and film a video in the same way. Like if you've ever published a post to Facebook, you have the skills to run simple ads. So I have a video on the channel that you can scroll through and find, or you can just, I also teach it in that book that I'm going to give you a copy of. So either way, don't discount ads because it sounds complicated or it sounds hard. I have students who literally know nothing. They click publish on their first ad and they get sales within the first 24 hours. I can actually show you. I have them here. Hang on. Let me show you. I might need to hide the iPad here just so you can, just to give my little pitch in there for ads. Cause again, there's like nothing in it for me really, but here we go. Launched my course this morning, launched the ads, something within 24 hours. Let me find another one. There's so many here. It's been live for 1 day and she got her first order. 2 sales in under 36 hours. Like this is the magic of ads. Don't discount it. Either go learn how to do it from that book. I think that's the better way to do it because I do like step-by-steps in there. So that's really helpful. Grab the book if you want it. I want to go into organic though. I want to talk about organic because a lot of people do ask me. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about organic so you can just get a sense of how this works, okay? So let's just use Instagram as an example so you can understand like what this flow it looks like, okay? So we're going to, for the sake of example with organic, and again, I do go into organic marketing in the book in great depth as well, but I want to go into it a little bit here because this tends to be the part of the pie people have questions about. I just had a heart attack that I didn't click refilm and that I had been talking to myself and not recording for like 5 minutes. So glad. So let's say we're doing Instagram here. Reels equals traffic. So I'm going to draw a really bad car, okay? Traffic, and then just so you know what I mean by traffic, I mean people to your checkout page. That's what, when people say traffic, that's what they're talking about. Is like, oh, I need to get more traffic to this. They're like, I need to get more views in this case on my checkout page. So Reels equals traffic. Traffic equals sales. So how it works is it's actually really simple. I have students, and I'm gonna pull up another testimonial because I have so many. Let me show this one. Nope, that's not it. So now I'll turn off the iPad. So this is an example. This is a student who's doing exactly what I teach in that book that I just showed you. She says, I've been posting consistently on Instagram for 36 days straight with 936 followers. She's averaging $5,000 to $7,000 in automated sales every single day. This is what I'm talking about. And this is how the process, I mean, this again, that's crazy. Like she's doing phenomenal. And I have, like I said, like just like the ads, I have tons of testimonies like that where people think, oh, I need tons of followers in order to make sales. I need a really big audience, but that's not the case at all. What you need is to be leveraging other people's audiences, and Reels are a really good way to do that. So Janelle, she has 936 followers, but she's making $5,000 to $7,000 a day. How? Because she makes about 1 reel a day. Those reels create traffic. Remember, you only need 67 people to view your checkout page every single day. And so what she does, and what I recommend my students do, is they put the link to the checkout page in their bio. So to be super, super clear, the link, like kind of like the one that I just showed you, that checkout page, you're going to put that in your Instagram bio. So how it works is a small percentage of people are going to see your reels, right? Then they're going to click on that link in bio and they're going to check out. So reels equals traffic, traffic equals sales. I recommend that you set a goal if you're going to do the organic route and you're not going to do like the ads route. I recommend that you do a goal of 1 reel a day. You can kind of get away with like 5 reels a week, but like 7 is better, right? And so when you do this, you kind of realize, okay, so it's actually, when it's broken down like this and we're eating our elephant like one bite at a time, you're like, okay, If I chose to just do organic, I would create reels. The reels would drive traffic to my checkout page because I'm putting my checkout page, by the way, don't do Stand Store, don't do Linktree, don't link to a bunch of things, literally just your checkout page to one product. People don't understand how important that step is. You should not have a Linktree in your bio. You should not have Stand Store in your bio, because what that does is that creates it's called like consumer fatigue or customer fatigue or decision fatigue, where they have you might put like 3 links in your bio, or you might put the link to your website in your bio. Don't do any of that. Put the link to your checkout page in the bio, because you only need 67 people. And so you're trying to get as many people as possible to that checkout page, so that 1 in 67 is going to decide every single day to make that sale, right? So I would say 1 a day. Those reels that you create every day are going to create traffic, and the traffic is what creates the sales. So this thing is exactly what the student that I shared with. So she doesn't have a ton of followers, but the views on her reel are enough to where she's getting those 67 people per day. And she's getting, I mean, honestly, I think at this point she got really good at creating reels, and she was like getting more views than that because she was making quite a bit of money a day. But for you, with your goal of $100 a day, that's what I would do. But the one thing that we have not talked about is how important it is for you to actually believe that you can hit this goal, for you to actually believe that you can make money. And I had a video that went viral teaching people what to do if they're struggling to believe they can make money. Because if you don't believe this is possible for you, I guarantee you're right. It's never going to happen for you. And so if you're struggling to believe that you actually can make money doing this and that this can work for you, go watch that video next, because it's going to completely change how you see all of this. I will see you there.